So let me see today a topic called as inter-thread communication. So we are going to following the same book, the Java Complete Reference, and also we are going to following some other resources. So coming to the inter-thread communication, the name itself it talks about inter-thread communication is nothing but where we are whenever we want to be communicate between the threads, whenever we want to make a communicate between the thread within a process, if you want to be communicate with that, we can use this inter-thread communication. For example, already we have seen a figure where there is a process, and under that we have different thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, like the different threads are there. If we want to make communication between T1 to T2, T2 to 3T, or 3 to 3T to T1, like this, if you want to make sure to make a communication, we can use this concept ITC, that is inter-thread communication. So let me have discuss in detail about that inter-thread communication. So here is the inter-thread communication topic. Fine. Right. Okay. So this is the topic. So inter-thread communication is also called as the cooperation. Is also be called as the cooperation. We can consider as this as a cooperation. Cooperation is nothing but normal meaning of English is coordinating or mutually with the help of mutual understand each other. Each thread can be cooperate to each other, right? So it's allowing the synchronization the threads. Synchronizing is nothing but one after the other that has to be used by one thread is using one resources. It has to be until it release that thread, that resources, the other thread can't be accessed. So to communicate with each other, we are going to using this ITC, inter-thread communication. So is all about allowing synchronized threads to communicate with each other. So inter-thread communication is a mechanism in which is going to be whenever this mechanism has applied over there, is going to pass running its critical section, and another thread is allowed to enter to lock that resources in the same critical section to be executed. It is implemented by the help of object class here. So in the object class, we are having different methods are available. Let me see that methods, what we are having under this. So in simpler manner, an inter-thread communication is a mechanism in which a thread is passed running, is going to be passed for that one in its critical section, and another thread is allowed to enter, means allowed to lock that resources in the same critical section to be executed. Same critical section, nothing but in the same process for passing a one thread and giving the access to allow to another thread to access that one, to lock that thread. And this can be done with the help of the methods called as wait, notify, notify all. Coming to the syntax of wait, we have a return type for this public, final, void, and wait. It throws an exception called as interrupted exception. This is the syntax for that. The purpose of this wait method is it waits until the object is notified. It has to wait the thread until some other thread has to notify that I have released that resources, I have released that object. So it will notify that it will be access that one. The second method with the one parameter, wait with one parameter, that is timeout. So for this method and this method, we have one parameter called as long timeout. The return type of the timeout, the variable is long data type. It waits for the specified amount of time. It do not have any specified amount of time. It is a specified amount of time over here. And next method is notify. So it returns public void, final void, notify. What it will do, it wake ups who are waiting. In the first method, we are seeing the waiting the threads. So it wake ups a single thread that is waiting on this object's monitor. So whichever the thread is waiting for that particular object, it will be notified through the notify method. If any threads are waiting on this object, one of them is chosen to be awakened. So multiple threads can be waiting for a particular same object, same resource. Then at the time, based on the priorities, the thread which is going to be waiting for that particular object, it will be wake up. And notify all is nothing but it wake up. In the previous method is only for one thread is wake up. Here it wake ups all the threads that are waiting on this object monitors. So why these three methods, wait, notify methods are defined in object class, not in thread class, means because it is related to the locking. So why it is waiting, why it is notifying, why it is notifying all? Because it deals with not the thread class. It doesn't deals with the thread classes, but it deals with the locking of the object. So locking of the object, that's why these three methods belong to object class instead of thread class. So that's the one reason why it is going to be dealing with that. Now the scenario how it will works, inter-thread communication, how it is going to be working over here is, this is our three states: entry and the owner and the waits set. Now the first step here is entering into this. The here it is going to be entering that thread T1, T2, T3. Somebody has acquired that, and once the thread has completed, it will be released that object. So once it is released, whoever or the notify should be waiting for that particular object. It will be notify with the help of notify method. So once it is notified, the other thread who are eagerly waiting for that particular object thing, it will be notified and it will be acquire that thread, acquire that object. Once it is completed that job, it will release and exit. So this process is called as inter-thread communication, where we are going to be entering, the thread is entering into that entry state. Once it is entering, it acquire the particular object. Once it is acquired, once the task is completed or the time duration what is allocated for that thread is completed, it will be released that one. Whoever is waiting for that particular object, some other can be, once it is released, it will notify whoever are waiting for that particular object. It will be, once it is notified, it will be acquired by other thread. Once it is acquired, it will be complete that task, or until the time is time out, it will be use that object, and again it is released, and this process will be repeated until the threads are in waiting state. So enter, acquire, release. If anybody is waiting, again it notify, acquire, take use of that, release, and this process is called as inter-thread communication. Okay, so let me have see a small examples over here. Let me discuss about the first example. Here we'll discuss the two examples to understand very clearly about the inter-thread communication. I am considering a program, Java program, that currently implements a producer consumer problem. Here producer is nothing but a depositor and a consumer is nothing but withdrawer. And the problem here is, once one has to be produced and another has to be consumed. Now let me discuss about how the program will goes on here, how the inter-thread communication will be used. Here inter-thread communication is, here it is the two threads. Thread 1 is producer, thread 2 is consumer. So thread 1 is going to be accessing this, consumer is going to be accessing another. So what is the commonality between these two is, what is the object resource here is money. That is the money, it has to be amount, or we can call as amount here. So amount is the object where it is going to be accessing. So the producer deposit the amount, deposit the object. So the consumer withdraw the amount, withdraw the object. So here object is considered as a amount, producer, consumer are the threads over here. Now a class called as customer I am considering. Inside the customer class, what I am doing here is, I am just taking as a amount 10,000. Initially it is assigned to a variable amount, and I am considering a synchronized method called as withdraw. The parameter which is passing for this method is amount. Now once it is anybody called this withdraw method, it will be display message first is going to withdraw. Once it is done, this dot amount less than amount means this dot amount nothing but the current amount, this amount, the class related amount. The class amount is this dot amount, and this amount is whichever it is coming from the parameter. As a parameter is coming, that is the amount. If 10,000 less than whatever it is, say for example, you are like to be withdraw 15,000. If you like to withdraw 15,000, right? The amount is 15,000. Now it is a 10,000. 10,000 less than 15,000. So condition is true. So it has to display message called as less balance waiting for deposit. Somebody has to deposit minimum 5,000, so that the amount, current amount is 10,000. Once has somebody deposit that 5,000, it is a 15,000. That also can be not draw because it is less than 1. At least 15,001 rupee has to be there to withdraw. Minimum balance should be there, right? So once it is done, it will be less than the amount is there, whichever the amount we want to draw with respect to the current balance, it has to go for wait. It is going for a try block. In the try block, we are calling a wait method. That is, it is going to be waiting for that. Any exceptions is there, that will be taken care by the parent class exception, that is exception class, right? So if it is not there, so this is the if condition is fail here. This is the if condition fails. If the if condition fails, means for example, I am withdrawing only not 15,000, only 5,000. I am just withdrawing only 5,000. Only 5,000 I am withdrawing. At the time, the condition is true. 10,000 less than 5,000. Condition is 10,000 is less than 5,000 is condition false. It will come out of the if condition, and this dot amount equal to we are subtracting. So 5,000 you have to subtract it, right, to the current balance. So withdraw completed. This is how the method, the draw method will be done over here. Now coming to the next part of this one is, here I am taking one more the method called as synchronized method deposit in the same class customer. Now it display a message. Once it is somebody has to call this deposit method, it starts the message with going to deposit. Now once anybody has to deposit for the current amount, so as per this program the current amount is 10k. So for that 10k, say for example I am depositing 5,000. So for example I am depositing, the amount is 5,000. That 5,000 will be added to this with the shorthand addition operator, and the total amount currently available is after depositing 5k is totally 10k plus 5k, that is 15k. Now once it is displayed deposited, the message has displayed as deposit completed and notify. Notify is nothing but what? 5,000 has to be getted. Somebody has to transfer any money through PhonePe or something. It will notify the message, right, through SMS, through email, through, again, if you have a Truecaller, for that also from the PhonePe, multiple messages will come, the same, right? That ends about the class customer. Now I'm considering one more class that is called as for testing. For testing is nothing that just we are calling the main method. Now inside here I'm calling the main method, and the class name I'm considering as test. Now I'm creating an object for the customer class because I need to be access the deposit and withdraw methods, right? Which are available in where it is available at in the where it is available in the customer class. So that's why I'm going to be using creating an object for the customer class. Now actually how we are going to be creating this line, we are just creating this line as this is how we are going to creating. So first we'll make sure that how we are going to be creating this. Just we are creating thread T, or maybe you can consider T1 something, anything, thread constructor, right? So this is, and with the help of T dot we are going to be calling the start method. Okay, we are going to be calling this, right? So thread T here, thread T this, and automatically this going to be called the run method, right? This is what it is doing. So in the same fashion here also, in this example here, what I'm doing here is in this place, new thread from the right hand side, creating an object again T dot start actually. So what is T object is there? How we are going to creating this is new thread means T dot start. Now once T dot start has called, what internally it will run as per the program, the run method will calls. So that run method we are going to keeping in between the open braces and close braces. So new thread here, open braces, close braces is run method dot start, T1 dot start. So what is there in the T1 is creating a thread, and T1 dot start, once it is called, it calls automatically a run method. That run method we are going to keeping in this thread constructor. In the block of thread constructor we are keeping there. So public void run C dot withdraw of 15,000. Once it is calling C dot withdraw of that one, it will call that. And second part is we are going to for depositing. So for depositing also we are going to creating T2 dot start. Now new thread is a thread constructor. Inside that thread constructor we are keeping run method, and inside the run method we are making a statement called as C dot deposit of 10,000, right? So once it is done, this 10,000, it will be dot start. That is simply T2 dot start, right? So simply we can write in the single line of code, we can complete it, that creating an object, calling a start, automatically start will call the run. All this will be done in the single statement. That is the beauty of this one. So once the program start execution, main program, now what will call actually c dot withdraw. What is there in the c dot withdraw in this one? What is there in the c dot withdraw? In the c dot withdraw, it is having here. It will call this method, right? So what is the amount we are passing here is we are need to withdraw 15,000, but the current amount we are having 10,000. So 10,000 less than 15,000. Condition is true. Less balance. Wait for deposit. It will wait. This customer withdraw will be wait for that particular until it will be deposit somebody, right? Now coming to the main program. Again, once it withdraw, it is waiting in the waiting state, right? Again, next thread will be created, c dot deposit. Once you are calling c dot deposit, it will be called deposit method here. So what is the amount deposit? It is 15,000. So 15,000, already 10,000 is there. So 10,000, again it is trying to deposit how much? See here itself, how much it is going to depositing. Here, deposit 10,000 only, right? So 10,000 it is deposited. So now currently this amount is 10K. Now already we are having 10,000 in our account. So 10,000 plus 10,000. Totally now current is available 20K. So system dot deposit completed. Now it is notifying. Once it is notifying, whoever is waiting for that particular object, who is waiting? The withdraw method is waiting for this notify. So once it is whoever waiting, it will notify. It will automatically take that lock. That particular withdraw method will take the lock on this particular amount, right? So once it is done, it will goes to here. So display this and this. So what is the output? Going to withdraw. Less balance is there as per this program, waiting for deposit. Now going to deposit, deposit completed. Once the deposit completed, once it is done, it will notify automatically withdraw completed message. Whoever it is waiting, the withdraw message will become. From where it is the withdraw method will be completed? From here. It will become. So amount will be subtracted and it will be withdraw completed. A message will be come further. So that is the program for producer and consumer using inter-thread communication. Let me see the next program. In this program, what we are doing here is we are just creating 3 threads, T1, T2, T3. We are going to creating 3 threads. We are going to creating. Okay. 3 threads we are creating, T1, T2, T3. T1, T2, T3, right? T1, T2, T3. So what the T1 has to do as per this program, the T1 has to make sure, create 3 threads. First thread displays good morning. It has to display good morning for every second. Good morning for every second, right? So this has to display, second thread has to display, the second thread displays hello for every 2 seconds. Hello for every 2 seconds. Now third thread is going to be doing, it has to welcome for every 3 seconds. Okay, for every 1 second, this is for every 1 second, it has to display. For every 2 seconds, hello. For every 3 seconds, welcome. That is the program theme. So that has to be done with the help of the sleep methods and with the help of the synchronized to each other. Now I'm creating first thread. Now here 3 threads we want, means 3 classes. So this is done in A class, this is done in B class, this is done in C class. Okay. Now I'm creating a class A threads. I'm using a method called as synchronized method here, that is run. Okay. So I'm calling the try, and here up to the true, for every second it display good morning. So this is the method it is doing. So once any exception has done here, it will be throw. It will throw that one. Okay. So the synchronized method will ends here, and the main method, the class A will ends here, right? So what is the class A will do? It extends threads, and for every 1 second it display hello, good morning message. I am creating one more thread called as class B. extends thread and using the synchronize method run. And what I'm doing here is for every 2 seconds, I'm displaying hello, end of the catch, end of the synchronize, end of the class B. This is what we are doing in the class B. What we are doing in the class B, for every 2 seconds, we are going to displaying a hello. In the class C, we are having a class C. Under this class C, we are going to be displaying for every 3 seconds. For every 3 seconds, welcome message, it is displaying. Okay. Welcome message, it is displaying over here. Now, three classes we have created. Class A, for every 1 second, it has display, good morning. Class B, for every 2 seconds, it display, hello. Class C, it displays for every 3 seconds, welcome. Now, I'm creating a thread class called as thread demo. Under that, I'm calling the main method. And here I'm creating the objects for A class, that is T1, for B class T2, for C class T3. Clear? Now, T1 has starting, T2 has starting, T3 has starting. Once it is started, once this has to be started, once it is started, now it goes to C. It goes to T1 has, once it is started, T1 is which object? A class object. So once it is T1 started, it comes to the run. Here is the run. Here is the run, right? So run, it will call the try here for every, it will sleep. For every 1 second, it display good morning like this. First second, it goes to sleep. Once it is wake up, it will display good morning like this. And we are creating T2 for class B. For every 2 seconds, it display hello. And we are creating T3 for the class C. And for every 3 seconds, it is display welcome message. Okay. So here we are going to be calling the main method, and we are creating 3 objects, T1, T2, T3, and it starts T1.start, T2.start, T3.start. Now, how the output will come for every, if you are observe the output for every 1 second. So for every 1 second means after 1 second, hello will be displayed. Sorry, good morning will be displayed. Good morning will be displayed, right? For every 1 second. For second, it will display hello as well as display good morning, right? However, you had displaying over there, it is display for that. For the next third second, what will happen? It displays welcome as well as good morning, because it is a 1 second it has done, right? Good morning, right? So immediately it will becomes next 4th second, a display good morning message, a display for the 4th second, a display good morning message as well as hello message, because 2 seconds completed, right? 4 for the 4th second, hello will display over this. And next 5th second, now it display only good morning, and 6th second, it display the good morning, hello and welcome. Like this, it display the output of this particular program. So what we have discussed in this class is we have discussed about the inter-thread communication. How it will be done is with the help of the object class methods, that is wait, notify all. We have done completed over this, and we have taken the 2 demonstration programs. One is producer concept problem, another is the we are going to be calling with the help of normal. It is a producer consumer problem, and that the second program is like 3 threads synchronously working to each other. How it is synchronized means for every second, for every 2 seconds, for every 3 seconds, it is synchronized. It's a time being. Based on the times it is going to be done, it will be displaying that output. So that's about the inter-thread communication in Java.